Hello, Evelyn. Everyone, this is Evelyn Churan from Churan's Tiny Homestead. Sorry, we've been going through tornado warnings all day and lots of weather, all kinds of weather. Anyways, there was something I wanted to show to everyone. My new sign for the front of the property. My last name's Churan. This is my tiny homestead, and welcome. Anyways, I had to, that's what I'm calling the place, Churan's Tiny Homestead, because that's what it is. It's a tiny homestead. And let me just put this down here. Oh my, I might lose power. So it's real hit and miss with this videotaping on YouTube to talk about anything. Sometimes it takes like 2 hours to load. Sometimes in a storm today, it right away loaded. I'm pretty sore. I'm working on cement slabs to go all the way around the sauna because in the winter, I'm going to have to be able to get through to where I got to shovel snow. I never took that into, I didn't think my wood stove would load from the outside, and it does. So I bought boxes for the back to store wood, paper, stuff like that. I had to put white stones all the way around or whatever, because the way it sat, it was level, but this one side was about this high and one side was about this high. And it looked really cockeyed, even though it's level. So it was too high off of the ground for me. So I had to put like a small deck in the front because I would have tripped. It was an accident waiting to happen. And what else has happened this week? I transplanted a bunch of plants I had here. It just happened to be raining today with tornado warnings. So knock on wood, I hope they catch. They caught at another area on my property and they just took off like they're huge. It's like a ground cover succulent that comes up every year. So I cut it back a little bit, got as much roots as I can, planted it right into ground, 6 pots. And I probably did 10 more plants out of it, which I'm probably going to dig it right out of that area so it can spread more. Because I'm building a garden under 4 trees behind the sauna on the opposite side of the property. And I put a whole pile of hostas and lilies and stuff that I got lots of wild raspberry here that doesn't produce any fruit at all. And it just needs to go. It's an invasive species and it needs to go. I also planted 4 cherry trees, 2 different kinds, for cross-pollination. I planted 2 pear trees, which actually have 3 pears on them. And I planted 4 raspberry stems that are complete opposite type of raspberry from the invasive species that's here in the wild. And I also planted 6 high bush blueberries. And I've been picking blueberries and eating them every day. They were packed with blueberries when I bought them. I'm hoping they'll reproduce next year. I just planted them. They're taking off like you wouldn't believe. The blueberries are turning blue that were on it. They were green when I bought them. And so that's a good sign. It's actually taking nutrients from the ground. It needs an acidic soil, which I gave it. My gooseberries that I planted last year have about a dozen berries on it. Red currant didn't get any berries. But that's okay because they're not pruned yet. None of these products have been pruned yet from planting. You got to wait a year or 2 before you start pruning. You don't just start cutting your plants, not in Canada anyways. The red currant and the gooseberry bushes, I will be pruning this fall a little bit because they just took off. And I have to make them smaller. But outside of that, everything's fenced off now. I did all of that all week. And that's about it with the growth of the property. Plus, I put a new sauna. But now I can have hot showers in the winter. It was cheaper to do it that way. And I got 2 more hot houses going up before the winter so I can build raised gardens in them over the winter. And I'll be ready for next spring. Like, it's extremely expensive to develop anything you want to develop. And I don't care who you are, where you are in Canada, things are expensive. Like, to dig my well, just to do the well is 25,000. That doesn't count a building, a basement, plumbing, electrical. I got the parts for the shower. I've got a sink. I've got toilets. I got all of that stuff. But I don't have plumbing and I don't have pushed water. So none of it's going to work anyway. So I ended up getting another tote and another blue barrel that are food safe for water, for potable water. And now I have 3 totes and 3 barrels for potable water, which will bring my water delivery down to once every 4 months, which is really good because I'm paying $175 per delivery. And it doesn't matter how much water I take. I still pay $175 unless I fill up my swimming pool. Then it's like $400, right? But I swim in it all summer long. I wash myself outside of the swimming pool, and I have a little handheld shower to rinse myself off outside of the swimming pool, and then I swim again. So I swim every day, and it helps with my stiff and sore muscles, and so does the sauna. I'm very, very sore from head to toe all the time, 24/7. I have to do chores and stuff. I can't not get up out of bed every day. I have a German Shepherd. I have to get up out of bed. Plus, I have to shovel snow. I have to take care of contractors, things like that. So things are going okay. It's a little slower. I never thought it would cost so much money to develop a property. I didn't do my research properly, and the onus is on me. I'm paying for it now, but it will be paid off in about a year. I was trying to get donations, but nobody will help me. So what's the use, right? I've been very polite. I've donated to many, many people around the country. And those people don't even know I exist now. So to each his own. I'll do it on my own. I don't need anybody's help. Other thing I wanted to say today. When I was a kid, I was a big Ozzy Osbourne fan. I'm still an Ozzy Osbourne fan. My son, when he was 2 or 3 years old, used to play Bark at the Moon over and over and over again. I went through 4 albums of Bark at the Moon because my son just admired the song Bark at the Moon in Ozzy Osbourne when he was like 2 years old, 2 to about 5 years old. He loved Bark at the Moon. And I couldn't get him to stop playing it. And it was kind of neat because he was 2 years old. I wouldn't think a 2-year-old would like heavy metal, and he did. But I guess he learned it from me. My son went on to learn how to play guitar, drums, keyboards, bass guitar. He can play every musical instrument. He's absolutely amazing when it comes to adapting to any kind of musical instrument. He's got an ear for music. So, but he's a heavy diesel mechanic and, whatever. He loved Ozzy Osbourne and Styx and all those bands that I loved, but he grew up on them because of me. But what I did want to say was, I'm so sorry to the family, Churan and the family. I don't know them or anything like that, but Ozzy was one of my most favorite performers. He was my hero when I was a kid. So, rest in peace, Ozzy Osbourne. Bark at the Moon up there in heaven for us infidels down here. God bless you, Ozzy Osbourne, and thank you for so many years of the most beautiful music and the best rock and roll. You're right up there. I love you, Ozzy. You're going to be missed. Rest in peace. Have a nice day. Condolences to the Osbourne family. Have a good day, everyone. Goodbye.